Right, so first job tonight is we've got found a couple of tyres down from up there. We're going to put on the back of this because we want the tyres off the back, or one of the tyres off the back anyway. Just put on the front of here as a spare, and then we've got another two down here that I'm going to take off and put on the back pot wheels for Bristol. So first of all, we'll swap those wheels over, push this outside, and Becca's on her way. So we're going to get it cleaned and put away. And once we've done that, I'm going to swap the tyres around and then take them all outside and get them all buffed, ready for Bristol. So that's that. We shall crack on. Just taken that one off the near side rear and that one off the offside rear of the shell car. That is, I've just put it on there because we wasn't sure, but we thought the rim was bent. So we put it on the tarmac car. We know everything's nice and straight and tightened, like spot on there, and that rim is definitely bent. So we're going to take the tyre off of that and put it on the near side front of the tarmac car, and then we've got these two new ones, or one there and one on that side, that we're going to put on the pepper pots. So I'm going to do that while Becca is outside just starting cleaning the shell car. There she is, giving it a clean. She was looking a bit confused just now because there wasn't enough water coming through and the hose had half blown off. But yeah, we're going to get the bonnet back on there, get a bag on the air filter and get it washed. Right, so we've just done those two tyres there and this one round here. We're just gonna set the buffing machine up outside and get those tyres all, or the ones at that end, and these all buffed, and then we shall move on to putting the proper brake pads back, or the race pads in the front of this, and giving the whole car a once over then. That's it, that's the tyres all done, ready for Bristol. So we're going to go inside now and change the brake pads and then do all the nut and bolt checks and get it all set up. push that other one in and then...
The battery's left for old rag, the old cleaner. I mean, I was going to mark it down for that. You're losing your rag off the car. You have to mark it down.
So Saturday afternoon, nearly evening now. Last night we weighed the car, set it all up, got it back to as pretty much as close as we were going to get because of all the different things we've done to the car over the winter. So yeah, we shall see how that goes tomorrow. And then today we loaded this up, loaded the van up, and then we did a few little jobs on the shell car ready for Mildenhall next week. One of the things we did, so it's now over there on the shelf, but one of the old Sierra hubs we've got new bearings for, fitted all the bearings on there. We just got to torque it up because our torque wrench doesn't have a big enough poundage on it. And then we did a couple of other bits. So we took the fan off of here because it's all in bits, and then we changed the diff, started to put it all back together, and the half shaft on this side would go in, but you had to really give it a bit of a clout, so something wasn't right. So we put it all in, and then started turning it, and it wasn't turning freely. So then took that out, took that half shaft out, put it in the other side, and that was turning nice and free. So we put it down to the axle on this side being bent. So then we dropped the axle out, or took the diff back out, everything back out, got the jig down, put it in there, and down here you can see the hole not quite lining up. So now on Wednesday we shall have to cut through there, cut through that, tweak it to where it needs to be, and then weld it all back up, get it back in, rebuild the diff, and apart from putting the diff back in, there's not loads to do on this, apart from a new fan, which I'm trying to order today. So yeah, that's Saturday, and tomorrow we are off to Bristol. See you there.
Test it again.
Your early leader, Ted Prosser, is around the front there. The first to get us to show is nice. Start, Jack Wynn takes it down. We're going rather rapidly back to the which would almost getting caught up with Jack Winston getting the coast there. He'll have flying in. And we lost Charlie Cox. 814. Resting as they go, as I can. The man goes all the way around here. I've got a boat for racing in Doesn't quite see it. Back. The leaders have had to change. Not held up on the back marker there by 844. Now back 10 from the Have a chat with Daniel. It's the battle for the lead between those two drivers at the moment. Then we have driver 27 and 8. The off-route having a bit of a torrid start today. 895 is the race leader, 501 coming up to the count for that second spot at the moment. 605, 526. Hollywood got on in 895 and 501, Jason Ward. Comes to an approximate and an unsafe place. Thomas 710. Here at this very meeting, but then he was speaking top. The back of James was a bit of a train there. 895, 501, 239, 359, 8. So all out the inside there. So, big chance. Now it's one to the opposite as the yellow red goes in the end. Get the ball starts this next 5 rounds, 5 to go. 501. Behind is the 4th spot. Likewise, the 6th spot really like it there. But it's 501. time. 26. 35 time. 915. Kelvin was a one-time And that's the house. So 501, 8, 736, 27, 8, 9, 5, 9, 7, 9. We're going to go have a chat with the 10th. Right. Green light. voltage radio connection with the tractor in the red colour. We go green and we're going racing. Away we go, 501 days 14. Let it start. We have now got red top. Green down in back number. 501, please get going. Thanking you, 976-844-501, 346-569, 9531. And we're ready to go. Green and racing very shortly. Got some great awards to come in a moment, but it is all a matter of getting this one sorted first. We're about to go.
Tuesday morning after Bristol. We had quite a good day, all things considered. Practice, we went out for the first practice just to get a feel for the car after all the changes we did over the winter. And it was close, but not quite where we had it last year. So just, well, I'll show you on the back axle. We adjusted the panhard rod just to tighten the rear end up slightly. Which worked really well, and then we went out for a second run of practice, and the car was really good, but it died towards the end of that practice session. Just coming out of one of the bends, went to put your foot down and nothing happened, which wasn't great. So we came off, had a little look through the electrical side, couldn't really see anything, tightened a couple of little things up, and then when there was only really a little bit of time left of practice, we wanted to get back out there. So we went back out, and what we did hadn't cured it, so we came back in. Then we started trying to diagnose it a bit more, and it turned out that when we were looking down the carburetor, there was hardly any fuel coming through it. So we then started to trace that back through, took the pipe off the end of the pump, or took the pipe off the end of the carburetor, and there was hardly anything coming out of there. So then we went back to the pump, and there's loads coming out of there. So we then it's somewhere between the pump and the carburetor, checked the cut-off valve, and it's all coming out of there fine. Then we went to the fuel filter and took that off, and the outlet side of that, it was like dribbling through, so we're not too sure. We had a look at the fuel filter, and there's no arrow necessarily on it to say which way it should be flowing, or if it was just that was creating a airlock. So we took that out, bypassed it by putting another fuel valve in temporarily, and then went out for the first heat, and thankfully that had cured it. And then we were doing okay in the first heat. We were probably, I don't know, 4th, 5th maybe, I can't remember now. And then we got spun out, and then as we were spinning round, someone whacked the near side corner, which then, well, I didn't know at the time. I felt something wasn't quite right because the car wasn't the same afterwards, but it bent the panhard mount on the back axle. So we finished the race, but outside the qualifying places for the final, which was a bit of a shame. So back to the pits, and then that was when we found the damage to the rear axle. We were carrying the rear axle with us, but it was such a quick turnaround between the races. There was no way we were going to have time to get that out and back in. So we started with a porta power, trying to just straighten it, and we got a bit of a weld on it to hold it in place. And then as we were putting it back together, we came up with the idea of putting a big bolt through here, welding it there, just to try and hold it in the right place, or hold it there and not let it get any worse. And we had no choice but to run the axle offset the completely wrong way to how we would normally have it. But it actually ran not too bad, considering. So then we went out for the consolation, which we were second for a while, and then second, then we dropped down to third, and yellow flags came out, and we were having quite a good race with some yellows and blue tops. And then we got a big hit, which we then bounced around the fence at the bottom bend, which pushed this in slightly, so we'll probably try and get that cut and pulled out a little bit this week. And then we just managed to hold on for 10th in the consolation, which qualified us for the final. And we went out for the final. I think we were 12th or 13th with about a lap to go, which obviously with the new points now, as we remembered afterwards, we would have scored points, but a hero red top that had got spun out took his frustrations out on us and decided to put us in the fence on the last lap for 13th place, which I'm not too sure it's really worth it, but there we go. And then for the Grand National, it was getting a little bit loose towards the end in the final. So for the Grand National, we put a slightly better tyre on this corner just to try and tighten it back up, because we couldn't do anything more with the back axle. And it was going really well again. I was leading it for a little while until the first yellow flags. And then as we went into the first bend, the repair held up on the back axle, but the bolt on this side where it was bent, but which we couldn't really do anything about at the time, because it was actually helping us get the axle over here where we wanted it, the bolt loosened itself. So as we were going in to the corner, the axle was moving side to side. So as we went into there, of course, the back end came round and then caught it up. But at that time, the train was coming past. And then from then onwards, it just never felt the same. So we pulled off, that was the end of the day at Bristol. Bristol was good. We've had some quite good times down there, really, considering it's normally quite a head damage heavy track. I think I've had 3 visits down there, and all 3 times we've come back with points, and I think we've qualified for all 3 finals. So yeah, this week we will be getting the shower car ready for Mildenhall.